So today I'm going to take you guys along my journey from 0 to 77,000 followers on social media as a realtor. I got licensed back in August of 2021. I never used social media. I was like one of those dudes that would post maybe once a year or once every other year, like a picture of my car or something like that. So I literally started from zero and I didn't have any connections in the industry. I had one buddy who to this day I haven't collaborated with on anything. Shout out Matt Bandit Bogard. But today now I've built a several $100,000 per year business and a network of 80 plus agents here at Real Broker, all from social media. So let's take it back to August of 2021 when I got licensed. So at this point, when I got in the industry, I was doing all of the stuff that everybody tells you to do. Put your sphere in the CRM, call your sphere, call these many leads per day, go door knocking and do this. And I did all that. And I did do deals from doing it. But what I was also doing at this time was I was posting on TikTok. And I started posting on TikTok because Gary Vee was like harping like nonstop on TikTok. Everybody's like, you gotta be on TikTok. You gotta be on TikTok. The reach is insane. The reach is insane. And when I downloaded TikTok, I saw like maybe 2 or 3 other realtors using it in my market, but nobody had like big followings. Nobody was really like fully capitalizing on the opportunity, if any at all, because at this point, nobody knew if you could actually sell homes on TikTok. I think there was people doing it in the States, but nobody had really done it in Canada yet. Everybody just thought it was like a dancing app for 17-year-olds. At least in BC, right? Maybe I shouldn't say Canada, but in BC and British Columbia, nobody had really done it yet. So I started posting on TikTok, right? 4 months in the industry. I ended up selling 4 homes in an hour and a half at a new construction sales center off of a video that I shot on TikTok. And from that point going forward, I started posting like 2, 3, sometimes 5 videos a day on TikTok. So as this is happening, I'm starting to do deals. My business is getting a little bit more consistent. It's actually kind of like starting to blow up, to be honest, because I'm going like viral. I pretty much owned the whole app at that point. I was like the only guy in BC making content on that app at the time. So I pretty much had like the whole local market would watch my content. And then what I ended up doing is teaching a whole bunch of realtors how to do it. Now I made a bunch of competition for myself, but
Eric was doing 5% down.
5%? That's it?
That's only like 26,000.
What?
No. Yeah.
so that was working well for me. 6 months in, I started a podcast called the Big Deal Real Estate Podcast, which I later ended, and I'll tell you why later on in this video. 8 months in, I started posting on Instagram consistently because at this point I was posting, but only when I had things to post. I was doing stories every day, which was amazing, and it was generating leads, but I wasn't actually consistently posting on Instagram. So 8 months in, that's when I kind of started shooting content, and I hired an editor just to have things to post on Instagram, because for some reason I always felt weird about reposting my TikToks onto IG, and I wanted it to be more professional, which I later found out doesn't matter at all. But at this point, that's what I felt like I needed to do. So I started shooting videos, and I'd have an editor edit them, and it was costing me like $600 a month to have like 30 videos edited per month or something like that, right? Now come to the end of the first year, YouTube doesn't come into this yet. I end the first year with 10,000 followers on TikTok, about 1,000 followers on Instagram, and it was a great market. It was a piping hot market. I closed 57 deals, which is about 600 grand in GCI, but I was on a team, so I had a lot of splits coming off of that, so I didn't make anywhere close to 600 grand, but that was like the gross income from the amount of deals that I closed. So in total, I ended that year at about 11,000 followers, which is amazing for my first year. But again, I was on TikTok, had no competition as the only person doing it, so the growth was insanely fast. It would be very difficult to do that today. Year 2. So year 2, second month into my second year, I decide to start a YouTube channel. No idea what I'm doing. I can't make a video longer than 2 minutes. My lighting's trash. My mic is trash. I'm shooting with my iPhone. Just everything about it fucking sucks, right? But I'm just trying to be consistent. So what I did is I basically decided, okay, it takes most people 3 years to get good at YouTube. I'm just gonna try to shoot 3 years worth of content as quick as I can. Now that was very hard to do, but I did manage to shoot a year's worth of content over the next 60 days. I pretty much posted a YouTube video every single day for the next 60 days, and I did learn a lot. And by the end of it, I was better at the thumbnails and I could speak for longer on camera. But the start of the second year, going like August 2022 onwards, was it 2022? Yeah, August 2022 onwards. It was very rough. The market was very bad at the back end of 2022. I had gone back to drinking because I quit in May of 2020. And then I thought I was the fucking man, right? I just made $600,000 in gross GCI. I'm the fucking man, right? I can drink and do this job.
Cash flow!
Didn't go well whatsoever. So the back end of 2022, I was drinking, I looked like shit, I gained a bunch of weight, I wasn't getting views on my social media. I literally sold like a house in the last 6 months of 2022. Now, as we get into March of 2023, I'm sober again for about 4 months at this point. My business explodes, right? I sell about 40 houses in the next 4 to 5 months at this point. And we get into the back end of 2023, market's completely dead and absolutely terrible again. But I was locked in at this time because I wasn't drinking, I was sober, and I was fully focused. I was like, okay, market's dead right now. I'm just gonna go all in on building my brand. I end up posting a few videos that go crazy viral, both on IG and TikTok. And I ended the year with 32,000 followers on TikTok and 18,000 followers on Instagram. And at this point, I had about 600 or 700 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So I end my second year at 51,000 followers. I go from 10,000 to 51,000. And then towards the end of 2023, I hired myself a YouTube coach because I figured it was way too hard. There's so much to know and so much that I don't know. And I found a guy at that time that was charging like $1,500 bucks. And I was like, this is a no-brainer. Here's $1,500 bucks. I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna have like a valuable asset. I'm gonna learn this. And then for the rest of my career, I'm gonna be good at doing this. And now today, this is why I can speak on camera like this, just kind of off the cuff because I've done it so much. I hired the coach. I put a lot of time and effort into this. And I ended that year of 2023 at about 44 deals. Now, keep in mind, 2023 was a substantially worse year for sales volume overall than my first year in real estate. 2023 was a year of no buyers and no sellers. We had very low inventory and very low demand, so it was a tough year. Now we get into year 3. This is 2024. Starts off with a banger. I sell 10 homes in January and then 3 in February, and then the market completely dies again. And the rest of the year in 2024 was brutal. You had to work 5 times as hard to get a deal done. There was several tough conversations that needed to happen before that deal got over the finish line with pretty much every single deal. And every single deal that closed, I felt lucky that it closed. Like nothing felt certain in 2024. So 2024 for me was a growth year. This was the year where I learned about systems and I started implementing systems in my business. This was the year where I actually learned how to use a CRM because believe it or not, I didn't use my CRM at all for the first 2 years. So, I learned how to run a newsletter. I learned how to put leads in the CRM. I learned how to build lead captures to bring people into the newsletter, into the CRM so I could retarget them. And I learned how to use proper CTAs within my content to actually drive traffic to a certain thing to then later convert them. And then again, in the back end of 2024, things completely died again, very, very slow for me. And I lock in on growing my brand again. I hit my first viral on YouTube in November of 2023. Before this, I was at about 2,100 subscribers, so still pretty good growth at about a year and a half to have 2,100 subs. And I end the year at 28,000 Instagram followers, 45K TikTok followers, and 3,500 YouTube subscribers for a total of 76,500 followers. Now, I did finish the year at only 40 deals, but because the market was so slow and sales volumes were so low, developers and sellers were actually paying higher commissions. So although I sold less homes, this was actually my best year for net commissions, money in my pocket, because every deal was paying me substantially more money, some of them double or triple than what I would typically make in a hot market. So at the end of the year, even though I sold less homes, I actually was my best year financially in real estate. Now keep in mind, in my first year in real estate, when I sold 57 homes, there's not a chance I would have done that in 2023. I was very lucky that when I got into the market, everything just like the stars aligned. The market was super hot. I was like the only dude on TikTok in like all of BC, got recognized everywhere I went. I was like a local celebrity because I was like the only guy posting on this app. But since then, the market's been getting gradually worse, at least in Vancouver and Toronto. Even if you're outside of Canada, you've probably heard how shit Canada is right now. So things have been gradually deteriorating, and that's my excuse for why the deal volume has been lower anyways. Now, what's your takeaway from this video? Well, what I will tell you is probably 98% of my growth on social media has come from about 2 or 3 videos every single year. Most of the content I'm putting out, I put it out to follow up with the people who are already in the funnel. The goal isn't to go viral with like 98% of the posts that I do, I'm just following up with people. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you wake up and something will just click and you get an unbelievable idea in your head and you already know it's a viral before you post it. But most of the time that's not the case. But what ends up happening is you always have a chance at getting lucky. And the more you post, the more chances you have at getting lucky. So this is why you post every single day consistently without ever missing, because eventually you're gonna get lucky. Growth in social media isn't linear, it's exponential. Like when I'm not hitting viral videos, my social does not grow whatsoever. My followers stay completely flat. Grant Cardone calls it his next bump because growth on social media looks like this every single time. Your videos on Instagram will literally get no views, 0, until one day you hit this video and then the floor of your views will go from like 500 to 2,500. You hit that next video, the floor of your views will be like 5,000. And now you're playing at that next level where you have leverage. Every video you put out, every follow-up you do is touching more people. So stay consistent. This takes years. This is not a 3 weeks to riches game plan. This is not, I'm gonna try it for a month and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna go back to this. This is, I'm gonna do it every single day without expecting any results. Eventually you're gonna get lucky. Eventually you're gonna get better. You're gonna become a better speaker. You're gonna learn things. You're gonna get more skilled at doing this. And that again is going to increase the chances that you get lucky, right? In the beginning, you may get lucky and have no idea why you got lucky. Now I get lucky and I know why I got lucky. So I can go back and I can make another spin-off of that same video that has an extremely high likelihood of going viral again because I understand why I got lucky from putting out so much content. So if you want to see what I'm offering to agents to help them with social media, check out the Viral Agent. The link is down below. I will help you with this if you want. Of course, there is a dollar amount attached to that. But if you're interested, go check it out. Otherwise, just subscribe. Appreciate you guys. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.